Indiana Jones, Indiana. It's a podcast about Indiana Jones. Every movie, 1 minute at a time. Indiana Jones Minute.
Welcome back to the Indiana Jones Minute, the podcast in which we celebrate and discuss the film Raiders of the Lost Ark 1 minute at a time. I'm Tom Taylor from IamTomTaylor.com.
I'm Pete Mummert.
I'm Gerry Porter from Hazelshood.com, I guess.
And I'm Scott Rosann, TV editor, denture wearer.
And you play one on TV.
And I play one on TV.
All right. Well, this has been an awkward introduction to minute 37, but it gets better from here.
Theme song.
Offer not valid. Minute 37 begins with Salah being troubled, and it ends with a handsome and heroic fellow with a beard and an eye patch. That's all I'm going to say. So we start with the tail end of the scene between Salah and Indy, which we all love. And I don't even have anything specific to say about this, except that there's something about I was saying last week or yesterday this scene, there's something about it, just like the straight dialogue between two actors. It's super cool, and it's I think I said weeks ago, it almost feels like Raiders versus all the other ones. It seems like you could cut between scenes in this movie to like All the President's Men or like The Exorcist or something. Like there's something, it's got like 1 foot in the 70s in a really authentic, awesome way that later blockbusters, like even a couple of years later, just could never re-achieve it again.
It's so, and we touched on this a little bit in the previous minute, and it really just comes home here. It's like, it's so spare, it's so well acted, and the filmmaking is so unadorned. It's really, John RhysDavies is delivering a speech that, he sort of expresses his concerns, something that man was not meant to disturb, that kind of, and wrapping up with this line that would, in this day and age, would definitely be the first thing you hear in the trailer. It is not of this earth.
Oh my God.
And there'd be these dips to black and really, really heavy, overproduced, overthought stuff. And he delivers this line, it's an entire ramp up, and he's giving this little cautionary piece. It's like he's framing the entire movie. He's saying, hey, I know we're both pros and we're going to go after this thing and I'm going to help you do it, but we really should think twice about what we're doing here. This is a thing that's bigger than either of us and bigger than everybody we've met in this movie so far or are likely to meet. And he delivers the line, and they don't move the camera. Spielberg, it's just a simple shot. He says, "It is not of this earth." They don't even cut back to Harrison Ford, right. And I believe that just a couple years later in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, Last Crusade, all the subsequent movies, and then all genre movies henceforth would take great pains to cut back to the star and do a slow dolly into Indy looking concerned and perhaps taking the headpiece back into his hands or something,
right.
Something really, really ham-fisted. And this movie just absolutely sidesteps that. Yeah. It is absolutely great. And it cuts away from him so fast after he delivers the line. He says, it is not of this earth. And there's practically not even a beat to let it land. And suddenly you're in a crowd scene.
Right. And that's the punctuation, amazing. It seems like. Like just the fact that it ends there. Almost like when you'll cut at like the very instant a joke hits or something, or a punchline or something. Like just the fact that it ends right there. That's what would now be like a swell of music or something, some foreboding note or something. Or
and also you realize it echoes, halfway around the world what Marcus was warning Indy about,
Yeah.
way back on the West Coast. Where he says, and again, Indy he's a little bit upset. Salah says, Indy, there's something that disturbs me. And he's like, what?
You again.
Yeah, exactly. And
Just
they sort of, it's that, character thing where he's a little cavalier with all this religious mumbo jumbo, like, let's just go get the thing.
Yeah.
And then we're going to, what is it? You're talking about the boogeyman.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Salah says that all the time anyway. Like, oh, excavate Temple of Osiris. Death is always surrounding.
It's not of this earth. From the mind that brought you Balash, we're going to get a warning about what's not of this earth.
He's an ancient alien guy, I think.
Yeah.
That would never happen, Pete. Don't be ridiculous.
Yeah, but it does
dimensional beings.
It sets up the point. It's like the ark's not going to work unless you're in good graces with God. And so there's a little, and you're kind of like, come on, Nazis, you probably should have thought about that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting too, though, that Salah, presumably a Muslim, is talking about a Jewish artifact this way.
Yeah.
Actually, it's interestingly that was something that was in earlier drafts, similar to the lines about like, oh, it's as if the Pharaohs have returned and things like there was a lot more sort of Muslim color in Salah's speech in earlier drafts of the script, and one of them did talk about like, oh, we may not believe in the same God.
Wow.
Stay away from it. And it's an interesting passage. It is hideously boring compared to what we've now established. It's very economical and very sort of to the point. But,
yeah, we've seen a lot of that going.
They did have that thought go through their head. Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of examples of stuff where, you look at the screenplay and there's like, oh, this argument between Indy and Marion in the bar was about 10 pages longer. And you hear all sorts of details that kind of change Marion's character and put pictures in your head you don't want there. And thank God they're just like, you know what? Let the audience do a little bit of work. We trust them. They can fill in the holes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that actually speaks to something that comes up a little later in this minute, which is they have the only two pieces of dialogue where they bother to talk about their past. And they're both done very much in passing. They both just kind of, and yet really, really effectively. You get the lines that are there are not deeply explicit. You know, oh, it took a lot for you to, I mean, we'll get there surely, but like it's just awfully nicely done. And it would not be done that way today.
Right.
Well, and you wonder, you're like, that must have been a super snuggle plane ride from Nepal. Because, Marion, not, 10, 12 minutes prior, was furious at Indy. She was furious. And you're right. She's kind of all, water under the bridge,
Yeah, I did get her out of Nepal, which is what she's been wanting for a long
Maybe
time.
that was it. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Maybe that was it. Maybe your mood lightened.
She's his new partner, after all.
Well, and just imagine how charged that must be. An old love comes back into your life and burns your life down.
Thanks.
And says, "Hey, let me save you from some Nazi." That's a big day,
Yeah.
And so that must have just been full of the plane ride must have been crackling with sort of sexual energy. Like, oh, great, awesome. I have dreams like this. It's just. She's back. She's walking back through my door. Hey, here we go.
I always knew this would happen.
Also, did anybody notice she has a wardrobe change? A big one?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, she's got the.
Are we on that yet?
Well, we could be.
Wait,
okay.
what? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
I
she's wearing the.
It's huge.
I guess what
Space
what are
Invaders
called. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Her shirt looks like a game of Space Invaders is going on her arm.
With the harem pants. What are apparently are
yeah.
called harem pants, at least to Westerners.
Big pants. Yep.
That's hot.
Yeah, and I did a little bit of research.
Of course
they
you
were introduced to the West, quote the West, around like the 1910s, and they were quite popular in the late 70s and early 80s.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even are coming back today.
Everything comes back.
So she
Yeah,
was
yeah,
very
yeah.
futuristic.
Thank goodness.
And they're red, which cinema file guys will talk about how that signifies maybe she's a target. She stands out in the scene.
Oh.
Yeah, everybody's
True.
wearing like
That's where I thought you were going with that.
tan and
Me neither,
white.
I know.
She's gonna blow up in a bloody mess.
The white blouse is stained with red. She's a woman now.
She definitely sticks out, and she might be a target, or maybe it's her passion and fiery soul.
Sure. She's not.
I feel like, am I alone here?
You're all alone. We're just
For
listening
like
now.
1 second,
Red
I
is the
actually
color that
talk
was
about
developed in the 1920s.
I read it in Harvard Magazine.
Well, let me ask you this. I have an excellent question that has never occurred to me until you start watching things 1 minute at a time. What are Indy and Marion doing right now? What are they
He's
doing?
carrying things he's looted
Well, they're
from
buying
various
pots,
temples.
clearly.
Yeah, but what is... I'm under the impression that they're searching for the lost Ark of the Covenant right now. Like, so what are they doing in the streets of Cairo? Just buying rugs and hanging out and munching on dates? Like, what's the like? Are they waiting for like
fun
Salah to
dates,
get
though.
in touch with Doug Henning and decipher the thing? And are they just?
Presumably, right?
I'd like
He's
them to
making
get
the
on it.
arrangements.
I guess so.
I think they just hit up TripAdvisor.
I mean, it's a nice
What
scene.
does Yelp say? Is anyone selling pots around here?
Well, I was looking at that too. What is it like? Indy's carrying. He has 2 bags of dates, right? And then he has something else in his arm. But he clearly has 2 bags of dates.
Yeah. The
And
thing
he has one of the weirdest lines in the entire movie. At least I would put it up as one of the weirdest lines in the entire movie, which is she'll be all right. Have a date.
Hey,
And
what's this?
It's a little weird, but it's like I don't give a hoot about that monkey. Here, let's go. Have a date.
No,
I
it's
wanna
true.
go.
It's true. It is. I don't give a hoot about that monkey, and it's been like, a plane ride, and that's about it. And you're starting to get on my dick nerve with this monkey business.
Right.
But it's actually, she'll be all right. Have a date.
It's a lot
it's
like where's Abner? Where's Abner? Like he doesn't get
Well,
her a
he
second
says
to,
almost
like-
that exact same thing. He says,
Yeah.
come on, Marion. He doesn't even wait. He starts dragging her off.
Yeah. She's
I'm gonna
awfully
fit
attached to
that into
monkey.
my weekend. I don't know where, but she'll be all right. Have a date.
Oh, and then he takes the time to mansplain dates to her.
Yeah.
Right.
What's this? It's a date. You eat 'em.
When I Scott, when I contacted you about what minutes we were gonna do, you got so excited that you got this minute with it's a date. You eat them.
You eat 'em.
I mean,
is
we
the
talk about
craziest,
quoted
yeah.
lines from this movie, and this might be, I'm going to say this continually through all 116 minutes of this movie, but this is one of the most quoted lines from my childhood and geekdom. Eat them.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just it sticks out. It's just funny and cool,
I used to say
legitimately
that to my
funny
sister.
and good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things that VCR has made possible. This entry
Yeah.
into your life. Because I don't know if any of us caught it in the theater. Maybe you did. I don't know. I mean, I was too busy laughing about Balash still.
Balash.
Did you already called him?
Balash. So I might have missed it in 1981.
I feel like I always
11.
got it because I was a very sharp 10-year-old. Nothing got by me, except for like the plot of this movie apparently, because there are things I'm still figuring out about it. But
Well, that's a good question. What are they doing? I mean, was Salah like, or maybe it was Indy being, being like, I don't want to hear this crap again about the, the Ark and, I'm going to have to be a little careful with it. He's like, what, I'm going to go shopping.
yeah, if they had
Go
cut back
shopping.
to Indy after Salah's awesome line back then in the last scene, it would have been Indy going, you know what, Salah, that's it. I'm leaving. I got to get some air. You're pissing me off with this guy.
I haven't been in Cairo for 10 minutes.
Yeah. You're making me feel guilty about trying to desecrate God's stuff.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say.
By the way, wait.
Again
Oh,
with the
you
warnings.
film guys, why is the monkeys wearing red too?
Oh. The monkey's
Is the
not a
monkey?
virgin.
The monkey may be foreshadowing something else as well, because the monkey is a capuchin monkey from Central or South America.
Oh.
Ah,
So
I like
somebody
it.
coming up may not be what they see.
Oh. I got hung up on cappuccino. I was like, what?
I
Did
got-
you order a cappuccino
That
in the
sounds
bar
delicious.
later? What?
I
mind if I
got
do?
hung up. I was like, does the monkey know he doesn't have pants on?
That's why he's curling his tail down like that.
Yeah,
because
he's clearly
hide
he's
his
obviously got
nethers.
the vest, and you're like, well, that's fine.
right.
Somebody he took the time to actually, and nobody even knows how the monkey get in there. We talked about this before, but how did the monkey and who set the whole thing up? Were they like, now I know that Indy's going to be staying at Salah's house because he always does.
Yeah.
And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this Third Reich monkey. And-
Oh wait, do we think the monkey's a Third Reich monkey?
No, I was gonna say he's clearly like, I know a monkey guy.
Yeah.
I definitely know a
Perhaps
monkey
a
guy.
monkey
Cairo.
guy I know.
I look.
Says German inspired.
I don't want to get ahead of ourselves in a minute, but clearly the monkey is a Third Reich monkey. I mean,
Well, okay, we'll get there. But yeah.
yeah, we'll get.
Okay, we gotta talk about the Barranca in the room. There's Barranca.
well,
Barranca's back.
Let's save him for minute 38.
Okay, but let's just say it.
Well,
Because he's there. Because he's literally at the end of this minute. But we just gotta
hi,
say,
Barranca.
welcome Barranca. Pete, I have to
The
tell you,
hero
Scott,
of
Pete
our
and
story.
Gerry were, especially Pete, were heartbroken. And I forget what minute it was, but when it turned
To
out
learn
that
that.
Barranca, the hero of the movie, had died so early in the movie. They loved him.
Well, he died trying to save
Absolutely.
the idol from a looter. He's protecting his heritage, which
Yeah.
we respect.
It's true. It's true. A
And this-
desecrator.
Yeah, this
Um,
gringo monster comes in and ruins everything.
And he's back.
Yeah. I don't even know if
Yeah,
the
yeah,
character
this
has
guy,
a name. He's-
this guy doesn't really turn around very much, but if he does, you see there's like 68 little tiny poison darts in his back. He's got
couldn't
the
get
monkey on
them
his
all the
shoulder
way
and the
out.
darts are in his back.
I
A
had
bad
no
disguise.
idea. I had no clue that was Barranca or the same actor or the same anything. I was just like, wow, who's that mysterious man in purple who's clearly bad because he has an eye patch?
yeah.
It's
I mean,
the
I was
perfect
fooled.
disguise.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's a perfect disguise.
Because all non-white ethnicities play the same on camera, so they pretty much just plugged in any actor they had.
That's right. Reuse that other guy.
Although yeah, right. Although as a point of interest, they shot this first. So this
That's
was done
true.
for, he played this role first, and then they went on to Hawaii after that and brought him with.
So does
I
that
don't-
This is
I don't know
so
if he was filling in
upsetting.
for somebody or. Oh, I did it again.
no, the
Don't
truth,
shoot them in order.
the truth shouldn't hurt. Come on, Gerry. It's okay.
The faces melted first.
No, wait, come on. Wait a
Face
minute.
melting was the very first shot.
It's going to be all right.
First thing they did.
Well, I know we're
I'm
all
sorry.
excited to see
Disillusionment
what
sets in.
Barranca is up to with this monkey. So maybe we should wrap this minute up. And Pete, where can people write to us so they can send welcome back cards to Barranca?
Send your cards to IndianaJonesMinute.com and check out our Facebook page. Follow the conversation there.
Yeah, and come back tomorrow. Scott, you want to come back and talk about minute 38 with us?
Oh, I'd love to.
Okay.
May I please?
Yes, please. Please do. We insist. Come back tomorrow, and we'll do minute 38 of Raiders of the Lost Ark here on the Indiana Jones Minute.
She'll be all right. Have a date.
Eat 'em!
You eat them.
You ate him.
Yeah!